Hello. Oh, hello. Hello. So, Eve, if you're catching later, you're right. That's the reason why you've never seen that planet before. Because I'm always right here. So, I've been eclipsing this planet this whole time. Oof. So today's been a weirdly synchronistic day, like self-referential synchronicities within the day today for apparently no reason. So first I have a pun calendar, a tearaway. Like I had the Farmer's Almanac last year. They didn't have a Farmer's Almanac, so I got a pun calendar. And the pun today is actually why I'm pulling the cards. Ooh, look at the Earth Keeper on the bottom of the deck. The pun today was time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. And so I read that when I got to work today. And I literally just like pieced this one together. And then I went to the stock room and to get a mask. Hey Holly, how you doing? And then no, it was later in the day. I went to go get some paper towels from the stock room. And the person, Raya, oh snap, how you been? It has been a minute. You popped into my mind. You came to mind yesterday or the day before. I almost texted you, but I think it was like as I was getting ready to go live. Um, but it was around lunchtime, and the person at the stock room said that she was hungry. And I was like, "Did you eat breakfast today?" And she said she had a banana. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that's the banana that the fruit flies like." And then when I was coming home from Starbucks, the song it's a song from Purple Rain was playing on the radio right before we got out the car. And then I open up my YouTube and I go, and Tyler's Tarot made a post about some donuts that he got 4 hours ago. And one of the donuts, he said it was called Purple Rain. And then on the way from work, I looked at somebody's license plate. Well, one person I almost texted Rob for some reason. I don't know. One of them was something 88, and then in front of that car was an 888. So yeah, weirdly synchronistic day today for apparently no reason. But I decided, I hope I don't regret this. I decided to pull out the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards and pull the card before and after the Time Master and a card before and after the Arrow. Because time flies like an arrow. I don't know what to do for the fruit fly and a banana. I don't think I have anything. But I'm actually going to grab the Gilded Reverie Lenormand because there's a time card in here. And I'm going to pull before and after the time card too. And then I guess I'll go from there if there's anywhere to go from there. And we'll see what's up. Hopefully, I wonder if I ever get grounded. Like, you know what? We're tired of you not giving the message that we want to give. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of you giving me messages that I do not want to give. I'm just playing. But I did kind of quit yesterday when I was putting the Earth Keeper, when I was putting the Mystical Shaman away, and it kept going. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I can't. Like, let's find something of resonance that is not this, please. Thank you. And when I can't, sometimes I just give up. Did a card just flip over? No. Okay. So I feel like both of these are shuffled. The owl is interesting. This was the second fact yesterday. This is the one that I left to whoever chose number 2. And I feel like I actually thought about that earlier today. I did think about that earlier today. Where was I? That was actually not too long ago. And it's funny because, I guess I just finished watching um, Rob's video about the elemental. And at the end of the video, he talked about the devas in Buddhism. Um, and it reminded me of the Todaiji and the great Buddha statue that sits in the temple, the wooden temple. And that came out with this fact. So, and then under that is the Andean cross. Speaking of Rob and the elemental, then there's the serpent, the Andean cross and the serpent. Okay. Looking for the arrow and looking for the Time Master. I can feel my head starting to hurt already. If they're in here, hello. I haven't seen either one yet. Okay. So the sorcerer and the rainbow are coming out around the Time Master. And the sorcerer and the rainbow is an interesting combination. Because, the rainbow flying to the sorcerer's face. Time flies like an arrow. The arrow and the Earthkeeper. The arrow is the card. It was the card at the top of the deck, and I pulled from the bottom. So there's only one card next to the arrow, and it's the Earthkeeper. Shit's fine. Can't give up now. Why do I do this to myself? Now I'm going to look for time. Is that the bridge? The bridge and the compass. Compass bridge. The bridge and the compass is interesting because it feels very Bifrosty. And it's the Bifrost like in God of War in particular, but also I guess in Thor. Because it's like you set the realm that you want the Bifrost to connect to with the compass, and then the bridge forms to connect those two places and spaces. And I think in the live that Rob and Reem did, one of them talked about a bridge. Let's see, I'm looking for time. Oh, here's time. See, this one came out quick. The well and mice. Oh, the well is interesting. Because that, again, it connected back to it was the collective reading that Reem did that was about the eternal child, I think. And that also, that energy came out yesterday in the Ace of Cups with the pearl that was rising out of the holy water and the dove that came out. And I was thinking about that after I did it too. I don't know if it was last night or this morning. I have the type of brain. Reem could tell you. Reem could testify personally. I have the kind of brain that like things will run in the background. I'm one of those types of people that like if I have a problem, sometimes I'll dream a solution because it's still running in the background in my brain. So there'll be times when I'm talking to Reem and I'll all of a sudden remember something that she said like a week ago. And I'll remember that like I was gonna reply to what she said, but I forgot. And for whatever reason, a week later, I'm like, oh, I didn't tell this to Reem. And then Reem was like, yeah, by the time you mentioned it, I forgot. So I guess I say that to say that after these are done and concluded, like my brain is still spinning back there. And then as I experience things or as other things come up, then things happen. And I have a contextual memory too. So I have not seen the movie The Golden Compass. I think I've heard of it though. I feel like this energy is pretty much the same as it was yesterday. Oh, there's a 37 and 38. 37 is time, 38 is the bridge. Um, oh, see, and look at this. The middle of the bridge almost looks like the top clock. Maybe I should do it this way now. Yeah. You see, it almost looks like that. And that the bonus one that came out yesterday was about the lava earth that pulls the continents apart. And it feels like the wings of this house up here, like when it comes time to connect, then it's like it stretches out. And it's like on this side, you would see this one like that. On the other side, you would see that. And in the middle is this. But yeah, it comes out with the same energy because it's mice. And mice, it's an energy of like little by little, bit by bit, all of the small things add up. And that's the energy of the crow that drops the pebbles into the well to raise the water level. It's the energy of the well filling to give. Oh, the for some reason, because I was thinking that the dove hatches from the pearl that comes up from the well. And then the dove can find and help fill other wells so that those pearls rise and then give birth to other doves. That's what came to mind earlier. But it's like little by little the well fills. Or a little, yeah, either the well fills with water or the well fills with stones to raise the water. The compass is feeling like a clock. I can look it up too. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm going to look at the plot synopsis. Golden Compass, Northern Lights, novel by Philip Pullman. Daniel Craig, what? Ian McKellen is in this. Nicole Kidman. Is the Golden Compass part of Narnia? Wait, hold up. Oh, that's there. The Golden Compass is a 2007 fantasy adventure film based on the 1995 novel Northern Lights, the first installment in his Dark Materials. I remember Amanda talking about the series that they have on Netflix for his Dark Materials. And I think she said she liked it. I was like, oh, but I didn't have Netflix, so I never watched it. In the film, Lyra joins a tribe of seafarers on a trip to the far north in search of children kidnapped by the Gobblers, a group supported by the universe's ruler, the Magisterium. Theatrically. It said it's theatrically released in the UK, and I read theoretically. It was theoretically released in the UK. Let's see. Dust, a cosmic particle that the Magisterium forbids to be mentioned. Oh, snap. I think I actually want to watch that movie. I think I want to watch that movie, so I'm not going to read the plot anymore. But Ream's Cancer Collective video gave you Compass Bridge energy. Did it really? And I noticed, I don't know if it was a processing thing, but for a minute, the Cancer video didn't have a thumbnail. And I was looking to see what the new flower was. And then I saw it later. Was it you, Rhea? Maybe not. I'm trying to, I feel like, I don't know if I saw a reader mention it or not. Something about getting access to certain spaces or gifts or abilities, but it's coded to the person. So it's like just how you would have some kind of DNA, fingerprint, eyeball, some unique identifier to you or to someone to access a certain thing. Um, See, and I feel like that's what this is around the Time Master. This is like a facial, it's like the new face recognition thing in the iPhone, how it like looks at the contours and everything. And when it first came out, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put these identical twins next to each other and see if they can unlock each other's phones." And it's like, it's not using thumbprints. You know what I mean? It's using a face. So if it has the same face, then yeah. But anyway, like this is the scanner that permits entry that came out around the Time Master. And it's interesting because the Time Master is facing the same direction as the bird and the rainbow. And they're both looking at the sorcerer. And it feels like that again because of the curse in particular. The thing that's not spoken unless it's like we pass some sort of. And these are both 12s. The Time Master and the Sorcerer. It's a difference of 1 in the 1's place and 10's place. So the Time Master steps down in the energetic, ethereal, spiritual, and it steps up in the physical. Because the 1's place is physical for me, the 10's place is the not physical. As it goes from 57 to 48. And the rainbow is a 41. So it's the same place in the spiritual as the sorcerer, but in the physical, it moves from a 1 to an 8. 8's for me, 8, the number feels like a trap. Although I know, like, numerologically, I think it's a number of abundance and stuff like that. It goes up in 7 from 1 to 8, and 7 is that number of the woo-woo. 7 is the woo-woo number. 7 is the woo number. It's the number of way. And then on the other side, the only thing with the arrow is the Earth Keeper. Oh, this is a 3 and a 9. 18 is a 9. The owl is also a 3. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Let's do it this way. The 1441 and the curse and the rainbow, which again, it's the energy of like that which is not spoken unless spoken to the one that's meant to hear. Okay, computer work. So both of these are 3s. The 39, which is a 12 3. Excuse me. Have I ever? I don't know. The sorcerer is the earth keeper. The sorcerer holds a piece of the earth keeper, or the sorcerer fulfills the role. The sorcerer and the earth keeper are connected somehow. And it goes back to the owl being the cloaked figure. It goes back to the spirit that's within the statue, the dove inside of the pearl. And it's like it reads like a mask or like a hood. The energy, I guess it could be an energy mantle, because like visually it literally looks like an energy mantle. It's like when the person puts on the owl hood over their face, they become the owl, and then when they take it off, they're back to the person. But the earth keeper and the sorcerer are sort of, oh snap, oh yeah, oh. This is the thing. The owl and the person, when they become one, it's literally the earth keeper. This is the sorcerer with wings. Like rainbow plus sorcerer equals earth keeper. Work. Got it. And look, they both have the same planet in the back too. And that's funny because I was like, oh, Eve, I'm eclipsing that planet back there. Anyway. Oh, and see, look. All right, work. It's not a message I'd normally give. And it's also not one I'd normally just read, but oh, there you are. Hey Eve, how you doing? This morning you had a video in your feed about recognizing whether excuse me, residence was contaminated by meth. The inspector said 2 signs are evidence: anger and excessive dirt. Address was 88. Oh snap. It's funny that there's another synchronicity that just pops up today. It's funny that you say meth because today I saw the name of a bacteria and it looked like meth lovers. So I was like, and I started laughing. I was like, what is this meth lovers bacteria? And then you said something about a residence with meth. I was like, oof. And it's like all of these little synchronicities just keep piling up today within today. And it's like, why though? Like for what? Just to be like, ooh, look what's happening. Synchronicity. But for like, why though? You know what I mean? Let me stop. Yeah, so that's the reason why you never notice the planet Eve, is because it's right there, and I'm like always right here. So I set it up today, and then I was like, oh yeah, you were looking at your stellium house. Excuse me. 8 is the number today. Okay. Um, I had a dream. You've seen plenty of dirty, angry places that were meth free. Whoop whoop. Breaking the stereotypes. Love it. I had a dream a while ago that I was at. There was a company that was like going out of business, and they were changing management from the top, and people were filling into an auditorium, and they were looking for somebody. I don't know if it was somebody to inherit the company or what they were looking for. But there was a guy who was looking for the person, and then there was a fire in the belly. And this isn't, well, I guess that's the stomach ish area. There was a fire in the stomach, and the fire in the stomach, it was like an angel that was birthing inside of a person. Like that seed, the pearl of the divine that is within all of us. When that transition was happening and they were looking for someone, it was a fire. And I remember they were like, there was a question that they asked that was like to confirm whatever. And they said something about like who was the father, or they said something about the father. And I remember the image of like Nick Offerman popped into my mind. To this day, I've never known why Nick Offerman, like the dude from Parks and Rec. I'm pretty sure that's Parks. Yeah, because Community is the other one. The dude from Parks and Rec. It was Nick Offerman, but like his character from Parks and Rec. I don't know. It was weird. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. You see this right here? This like blue moon. It almost looks like it's like in here in the arrow. Also, these two things are like, it's almost like when they line up in 18 years precisely, the planets will align ever so nicely. Right? And I guess that's another eclipse energy in a way. Time flies like an arrow. So maybe they are similar. And the Time Master, there's that same shape ish, or the similar curve like the arrow. I don't know. I knew it was a trap when I got pulled back to this deck. Probably not many enough places that are free from dirt and anger, though. Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Holly. And maybe like the alignment and the arrow. They're also like these little sparkles off to the side. The alignment and the arrow, maybe also in the time card. I don't know if all of these times are the same, but there is something, I guess, about aggregated time. I don't know. I feel like the seat. like rainbow plus sorcerer equals earth keeper. I feel like I can't get the bird. There we go. So that's it. I can leave this at a 30-minute video. I can do that today. Excuse me. There's something about sorcerer energy, though, that always feels incomplete to me. Because the rainbow doesn't cover her whole face. The rainbow don't even hit her third eye. She ain't even got purple on the third eye. Well, I mean, I guess from where's the third eye located from the profile? Because it's like above the eyes, right? Wouldn't it be like more towards the center of her forehead? I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? Oh, snap. The glacier and men's were beautiful. Was that it? Oh, mountains. Oh, never mind. I thought there were some attractive dudes at the glaciers yesterday. Excuse me. One of that diceology card popped into my mind. I don't remember which one though. I did just cut the Lenormand deck and I saw the dice card. I was like, oof. I was like, I could grab the dice. I think I'm gonna grab the diceology cards though. What do you mean what's missing? Oh, from the sorcerer? The energy of the sorcerer just feels incomplete to me. It looks incomplete. Like there's more that the sorcerer just isn't in a position to be able to integrate or to hear, break down, understand, utilize, use. Oh, a card just flipped over. Is that the council? No, it's the rainbow again. Rainbow flipped over. Bottom of the deck is the rattle, 43 and 41. Oops. 41, 43. The rattle actually, I saw it yesterday. I think it was when I saw the council and the Andean cross. Excuse me. The Pixies Astounding Lenormand. I'll have to check it out. Maybe, Holly. I have no clue. I've just been getting syncs today for some reason. Like maybe the banana means something, and the 88 and the 888. I'm just like, okay. I'm the type of person sometimes I'm like, oh, synchronicity. Okay. It's like, oh, there's another one. All right. I don't know if that'd be surprising to some people. I'm just like, oh, okay, another sync. All right, cool. Unless it like means something, because I'm like, I don't know what to do with this information. Like, what are we doing here? Where are my dice? Hello? Hello? Excuse me. Where are my diceology cards? Where's my diceology deck? Oh, it's right here. LOL. It was under the Witch's Tarot. I ain't used the Witch's Tarot in a minute. The Witch's Tarot was my second tarot deck. And it's the one that I traveled with. And so I was like, oh, I don't really connect to this deck, so I'll just use it for whatever. And then after a certain point in time, it just started, I don't know, I connected to it. It started hitting. It's interesting because the rattle remains me. The water reminds me of a rain stick. The rattle reminds me of a rain stick. And then the rainbow is like no rain, no rainbow. So we see the instrument that calls in the rains, and we see the result after the rains have cleared and the sun comes out, but we don't actually see the rain. We don't see the storm. And maybe that's the point. And it will remind me of Sans Pisces video about how it's like you manage to find your way into the eye of the storm. So although you like technically go through the storm, you don't really, because you happen to be in the eye of it. Don't know. I am gonna get one of these though. Wait, Walter White blue math. Wait, I'm so confused. I could ask, but I'm just like, eh. I also, it was after, when I was talking about the dream, because I talked about the dream I had. I had a dream last night. My dreams, everybody else is like, I'm having dreams about this, and my dreams have been wild and vivid and crazy. I feel like when everybody else is having vivid dreams, my dreams are like basic AF. Like I've been having so many dreams about like dreams that involve like groups of people. Like I was having dreams where I was like reconnecting with people. And in one of the dreams, somebody was showing me, oh, LOL. Somebody was showing me to my room. I'm like, oh, welcome back. Like it's been so long since we've like seen each other, blah, 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 whatever. Like, let me take you to your room. And we were like, it was a whole journey just to get to the room. But last night I had a dream that I went to a new school with my little brother. And it was like Label Day, where everybody was wearing like high-end clothes like Gucci, etc. And I was like, that's dumb. I'm not gonna do that. so so from the day I woke up, people were like, oh, like where's your Gucci? Where's your Dolce and Gabbana? Where are your Louis Vuittons? Like where are your like labels? And I was like, I'm not doing it. And so they were like making fun of me, and my little brother was there, and I teared up a little bit because somebody else, I guess he was wearing labels, and somebody like we were kind of together before we parted ways, and somebody came up and they were making fun of me, and I told my brother, I was like, if you have to make fun of me today to like fit in with everybody else, like it's fine, like don't feel bad about it. I'm choosing to not do this so you don't have to, whatever, you know what I mean? Like just because I'm going to be ostracized today don't mean you got to be. And then we parted ways, and I was going to a classroom, and I think somebody had told the teacher that I wasn't wearing labels. And so before I went into the class, the teacher came out and she was saying something like, where are your clothes? And I was like, are you going to deny me an education because I'm not wearing labels today? And she said no. And I was like, okay, so like, let me go into the classroom, please. Thank you. And then I sat down and she asked somebody a question. And the person was like, I don't know. Why don't you ask the dude who's not wearing any labels today? And it's interesting because in the dream, I got the thought, it was like the labels, and I said something by the end of the dream. I'm like, labels are superficial. You're putting these things on the outside to try to add some kind of value to yourself, but the clothes themselves don't give you any value. Like if you take the clothes off of you, the clothes are going to be worth the same. You're not worth any more because you're wearing it. They're not worth any more or less because you're wearing it. Without you, those clothes will still be worth what they're worth. But it was like, if only they could see like what was really inside of me, then they would blah, 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 whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'm not even pressed. I'm not even going to go that far. It was annoying. By the end of the dream, though, I was like starting to get really annoyed. It was so weird. Yeah, like name brands. Like the Gucci. I remember Gucci was the one. I was like, in the dream, I was like Gucci, Dolce and Gabbana. I don't even know all the labels. Louis Vuitton, Versace is another one. Stuff like that. It was just like at this school, it was just the day that everyone wears their name brand clothes. And I was like, no. I actually put on this shirt. That's the reason why I decided to wear this shirt today. Because in the dream, oh, and it's a My Strength shirt, which is interesting because that was my whole thing in the dream. It was like, it's about what's underneath the clothes. It's about what makes me up as a person. And I'm going to try to show you without being disgusting. But so you can see like what my strengths are on this shirt. They have different thingies. And my top 5 strengths are adaptability, empathy, intellection, ideation, and input. And that's the reason why I decided to wear the shirt today, because I wore it in the dream last night. I didn't even piece that together in the dream. But yeah, it was weird. Like I said, I was getting annoyed by the end of it. But those are the kind of dreams that I'm having. Well, that one was new. I haven't been annoyed like that in a minute. The other ones are just like, and I had another dream. Was that? No, that was yesterday. It's like I'm catching up with people. I'm meeting up with people, and we're going to like eat. Are they going to show me tomorrow? Oh, the room. Yeah, that I was like, I didn't even piece that together until this morning. I was like, I had a dream that I had this whole room that I was like using, but I didn't even realize and recognize that like that space was exactly like the space I was wanting. Excuse me. Thank you, Rhea. Somebody at work, she was like, I don't remember my strengths, but I feel like they were backhanded compliments. I was like, oof. I don't have any like executing, achieving, like all of the like interpersonal, like all of the like extroversion skills and all of the achievement, getting stuff done skills and the leadership skills. None of it. I have the feeling ones and the thinking ones. You're wearing a Walking Dead t-shirt. What does that mean about you? Are you a zombie? I'm just playing. So I'm gonna get a Diceology card because I guess these have playing card correspondence, even though this one doesn't, because it's one of the extra. Actually, that's when I guess I'm gonna do it again. The only card with a playing card correspondence on it is mice. And mice came out last time I used these two. The other 4 are bonus cards. So they don't actually have any playing card. And you can tell by the numbers. I think the Lenormand only goes up to 36. 36 being lacrosse, but they all have this symbol for like extra. So I look before and after the 7 of clubs. One card did make its presence known. It didn't flip over, but oh, look at that. 7 of clubs literally at the bottom of the deck. King of spades, 7 of clubs, 8 of clubs, jack of spades. King of spades, 7 of clubs, jack of spades. King of clubs, yeah, 7 of clubs, jack of spades. Where feminine and masculine meet, the conception of innocence, nesting and preparation, the beginnings of self-realization, caring for one's mental space, preparing to welcome something big. The 7 of clubs is a purifying light, a renewed mind, and a moment of timelessness, which is interesting. It was next in the rotation. Oh, snap, you wore a dress yesterday? I should wear a dress tomorrow. I feel like I'm never mind. I feel like at the time, it was like I'm never gonna accomplish anything. I'm always gonna be an underachiever. I guess I'm different now. Well, I do more now. Both of these have preparing to welcome something big, nesting and preparation on the last one. So the something big would be a baby if the other energy is nesting. Which is interesting because I know Cindy has been getting birth. And I remember the black egg came out. The nest showed up in one of Reem's readings, I think. Or was that Cindy? Maybe that was Cindy. But it's like it's been the egg and it's been the baby, but it's like there are things that are done to prepare the space for the child. And maybe somebody's talking about the nesting that I just haven't seen. But it feels like it's interesting that that energy is almost missing in a way. Or not, maybe not. I just haven't seen it. That don't mean it's not there. The card that came out face down is the Ace of Diamonds, chain links, a divine codex, an arrow that pierces the heavens and breaks the clouds. So there's our timelessness and an arrow, which is interesting. Yeah, the King of Clubs is all about conception. Where feminine and masculine meet, the conception of innocence, nesting and preparation. Conception and preparing for the birth. The beginnings of self realization, caring for one's mental space, and preparing to welcome something big. Caring for one's mental space. I don't know where that came from. Maybe that's part of the nesting. Then the nesting happens in the mental space. And that's also where, like, because self realization occurs primarily in the mental space. Wait. The ring is at the bottom of the Lenormand. I've been looking at it. I feel like I haven't necessarily found reason to talk about it. Look at this. 24 and 25 at the bottom of the deck. And then the snake. The snake. And the man is behind the snake. Oof. Speaking of where masculine and feminine meet, but yeah, the ring is here. I don't necessarily know why, but it's the Ace of Clubs. Did y'all hear that? Oh gosh. While we sleep. But I guess I would see, I feel like you can read it as the man is a snake, or you can read it as the man's snake. You know what I mean? Anyway, it feels like it's a little bit more active than sleep. Because it feels like with sleep, well, maybe not necessarily. I guess I'll take that back. Because dreams can be an active process as well. But it's the self realization that makes it feel a little bit more waking world. Well, maybe not really either, though. Because we can realize things about ourselves in the dream. Yeah, I guess the setting is wherever. I guess that's it. What did I pull these for? I don't know. I think I might do a live with the chat turned on. Where I just go. Maybe not. Because I could always just like not look at the chat. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do a live and I'll not look at the chat. So if people want to chat, like y'all can still chat and talk to each other. Maybe not though. I don't know. I feel like I want to do a super long live, but at the same time I don't. You know what I mean? But either way, so going back, feminine and masculine. I know Rob's also been talking about the animus and the anima. And it's interesting because Rob said he had the dream where he met his anima. And I remember when I went live with Rob, when I was tricked into going. I'm kidding. I wasn't tricked. I just didn't expect it that day. But I think at the end, we did a collective reading. And it was all about the anima and the animus. And at the time, I was like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what this is for. I don't know if he knew. It was just like, oh, well, this is the energy that came out. Okay, bye. Maybe I'll go back and watch it, but I'm pretty sure at the end of the Patrick and Sponge Rob live, the anima and animus came out. But where feminine and masculine meet. Oh, because we talked about because Hreisvelg came out and Odin came out. And Loki and Odin were two Norse mythological figures who transformed into women to utilize the magic that's only available to women. And so there was the energy was like, you don't have to become a woman to do that because the energy still exists within you. Just like how masculine energy exists within women. And that's how it went to the anima and the animus. So see, and then this is a completed self. if our internal feminine and masculine are healed and united within us, then what does that give birth to within us? Like, who do we become, I guess, when those two aspects are in healthy reception of each other? And then that plays into the self-realization and the mental space, clearing up the mental space when those two again come into healthy reception of each other. And I guess there is the question of what exactly it is that the rainbow recognizes within the sorcerer. And I guess to answer that, it's like if we're not fully ourselves, then we won't be recognized, right? If I try to unlock my phone and cover half of my face, it's not going to work. If I try to unlock my phone and I alter the structure of my face in any kind of way, if I distort my face, it's not going to work. Both sides need to be present, you know, in whatever their natural configuration is. Because I was going to mention something about symmetry, but you know. Okay. And that gives a little context to um a little to like all the shadow work and dark nights and stuff like that. Again, it's Fanuel energy. And I think I can actually, yep, it's right here. So this is going to lead me into the next deck, which is going to be the Angelarium. I mean, I already have the year twos, but I don't know if I want to use the Oracle of Emanations. Hey, Kathy, how you doing, Twitty? Twitty. Do I want to use this one? Yeah, I'll use this one because it's expanded a little bit. I don't have the emanations in this one though. I literally just realized that this deck doesn't have the emanations. I don't know if we need the emanations. Who was that? Asmodel Angel of Taurus. Nope. Back into the deck, I say. I still need to get the year one. Oh, I feel it's getting cold in here. A chill came into the room. I was at work one day. Maybe it was Tuesday or Monday. And I think it was Tuesday. A thing tipped off of the table and onto the cart that was right next to the table. And one of my coworkers like, "Oh, it's haunted in here." I literally just saw that thing slide by itself. And then my other coworker was like, "Oh, it probably came from my house." No, she was like, "Oh, it's probably me." And then the first coworker was like, "Yeah, it probably came from your house." Because it was last in October. They were talking about like ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh. We've talked about ghosts. We've talked about aliens. We actually kind of talked about a little bit, didn't get all the way into it, spirituality and religion. And so I work with another Pisces and an Aquarius, a Feb Aquarius. So she ain't on that Pisces cusp, but she got vibes. Low key, when I met her, I was like, and I've never said anything, but It's fine. I wore my magical AF hoodie to work. But anyway. Angelarium, not you. What you mean? Oh, because I put the Angel of Taurus back in the deck. Okay. Wait, is that a card that flipped over? No, that was Chazakiel, Angel of the Mist. All right. So, if nothing comes out in two more, I'm going to grab the other one. Oh, well, it flipped over. Who is it? Matariel, Angel of Rain, came out in between. Penamue! That's the one that was missing forever. For forever. Between Barakiel, Angel of Lightning, and Ambriel, Angel of Gemini. Matariel is in the other deck. Matariel, Angel of Rain. O lonely fountain, bless us mortals that dwell beneath you. Let our gratefulness abate your sadness. Let our prayers reach you, lonely Matariel. We seek your embrace. We beg that you may stretch your hand so we may praise your generosity. O great muse of rain, O sustainer of life, we patiently await your blessing. So that's one way to fill the well. With rainwater? It was a question of, well, where does the water come from? The water comes from the sky, it comes from the heavens. But why wouldn't Matariel see this deck? Maybe it's because Barakiel is here. This deck tells an interesting story. About when the veil and why the veil. And it's the why the veil that caused the rains of Matariel to stop flowing. It's the why the veil that makes the angel of the mountain protect that which he so brazenly would just express. And it's because of Barakiel and Satario. Because if it happens one time, it's like, oh, what? If it happens two times, then it's like, okay, yeah, no, it's not a coincidence. Yeah, let's not. Anyway, so yeah, she did in her collective reading. I think it was the one. Oh, the sudden chill in the room. Okay, Twitty, I'm sorry. My memory is when it comes to these things. Grandpa located at Artisan while when she was young. Excuse me. It was in her Eternal Child video, I think, that she mentioned the well, which is interesting because the child was at the bottom of the Earthkeeper's Tarot. Earthkeeper's Tarot. I can't want to call it Earthkeeper. The child was at the bottom of the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. And I was looking at the child like, why are you here? Just like I'm looking at the ring, like, okay. I am actually going to pull the other one too. Y'all remember when my little brother came on my video instead of just replying to my text message like a normal person? I'm just playing. Oh, the synchronicity. So I had the dream last night about name brand clothes, about high-end fashion. You know what I mean? And then it's hilarious because my pun calendar yesterday, the entry was, "Are you free tomorrow?" Question mark. No, it said, "Are you free tomorrow?" It's like, "No, sorry, I'm expensive." And then I had the dream about the expensive clothes that I refused to wear. I don't know. Maybe not. You know what I mean? That's the second I remember because I was live with Corey. I was live with Corey. And then a muffin pop up and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" Go away. Sometimes when I walk into his room and his YouTube is pulled up, like his home screen, I'll see my videos. I'm like, oh. Yesterday, I think it was after I ended the live. I went in there and the fixed sign video I did was up on his. Oh, oh no, that's the Hakio. Okay, the fixed sign video was up on his thing. So, how snow is technically a cosmic rain. It's ether water, but then that water, what water isn't etheric? But the rain does have a specific relationship to Earth's atmosphere acting around. True. You're also curious about the divine firmament holding a cosmic amount of water. Oof, y'all are asking questions that I invite you to answer. If your curiosity leads you somewhere, explore. You know what I mean? Ooh. Okay. I'm using the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations. I kind of want to see if Matario comes out again. Oh, okay. I'm gonna and look before and after Matario. Bottom of the deck is Aestivus, Angel of Divination, and Azrael, Angel of Death. See, this was another one. It was Azrael. He the reason why. So, Matariel is in between Zacriel, Angel of Memory, and Hod, Angel of Submission. Left leg Hod, Angel of, or left leg Hod, Submission on the Kabbalah Tree of Life. Memory and submission, which is interesting because when I was thinking about, um, here you go, Eve. There you go. That's for you. So yes, it's the dreams. It's in the dream space. Doom is here like, yeah, did somebody say dreams? Did you expect to pull the Angelarium and not see me? Hello? Come on. I wasn't even thinking about Duma. That energy did come out. This energy came out for Virgo. Ooh, tingles. It came out for Virgo. I'm pretty sure it was Virgo. And it's when I think it's the last time I did all signs. And I did Virgo's reading with the Starman. I switched decks like halfway through. I did Virgo's with the Starman, but I forgot to unmute the video. So then I pulled a different deck. Is this? Hold up. Oh, Kushiel, Angel of Punishment, is on the other side. All right, there we go. I was like, why do I have these cards on here? I'm actually going to read Zacriel, Angel of Memory, because that's the energy. A tingle and a giggle. It's a good night. Oof. You take the challenge. Hey, can't wait to see if you post it. If you feel guided to share. Oh, you're spending time with your daughter right now? Oh, snap. Kathy's going to do the reading. Let's go. I feel like that's how, like, I watched enough people to kind of sort of pick up on card meaning. Sometimes I would forget. Sometimes I still forget. Well, not necessarily now. But if I'm just like, it was like if I think of a card or somebody said a card, I was like, what's the meaning of that card again? Like, which one is that? But if I was looking at it, we're all learning. Zachriel, Angel of Memory. You'll be a memory. Who is that? That's the sorceress. Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure that's literally the sorceress on Dragon Nest. One of her taunt lines is, "You'll be a memory." Zachriel, Angel of Memory. Eternally lost, Zachriel carelessly winds and unwinds the threads of thought. Speaking of the mental space. Memory has no worries or concerns. You are safe to wrap yourself in the bands of time gone by as well. It is warm and safe within the fog of Zachriel. All you knew greets you, welcomes you, longs for you. The power of remembrance is balanced by the power of forgetfulness. Pouring memory into the cup of forgetfulness makes room for new memory. Zachriel is the angel of all memory, even memory lost. If you take something with you, you must also leave something behind. Signs are a knot, a loom, and a maze. And that's interesting because when I was looking for, what card was I looking for in the Lenormand? The time. When I was looking for the card of time, I saw the maze. So now I'm going to go back to the Lenormand and we're going to see what's before and after the maze. The maze is the box and the forest. Those who find themselves out of the forest before the fog lifts will find themselves, or those who navigate out of the forest before the fog lifts will find themselves in a space of mastery. That's what the card said a minute ago. Here it is right here. Is that the child? Oof. Is this the child? The child, what I'm assuming is the maze and Ryder. And it's funny because it looks like Ryder, like that could be a carousel, and Ryder is like in the carousel. The child and Ryder, that's sun card energy. I don't have any tarot on the table to go looking for the sun cards, so not gonna do that. But that Ace of Cups energy that came out with the pearl that became the dove, that was the sacred, the holy water, and the Spirit Keeper's tarot. I knew Zachriel talked about a cup, that's why I read it, and it made me think of that. Also, um, the mountain. Submission. Um, there was a question with the transformation of the sorceress, the transformation of the sorcerer, in whatever way that happens, of like what happens to the self. But I guess the question is the same, like even on journeys, as we go about our way, as we progress along our spiritual pathways, we can change. There may be things that we used to enjoy that we don't necessarily anymore, or we might crave different environments. We might not find as much fulfillment and satisfaction in certain things, and we might find more in other things. And it's like, well, what happens to the self? Is there anything that's lost within self as we welcome more? And Zachariel talked about if you take something, you have to leave something. And that's why I was like, I guess it's fitting because I thought about that, and then I remembered that a similar energy came out for Virgo, and I don't even remember when I did. I was actually thinking about doing another one, um, but I don't even remember when I did the last all signs. Virgo is Earth Mason. Virgo is the sign that's holding the seed, hiding the seed, while the seed is doing whatever it's doing, and then all of a sudden it's like who planted this oak tree? When did this sequoia get here? Oh, look at this. On the child card is a rainbow. I guess if I read one of them, I should read the other, right? So first I'll read Hod, and then I'll read Matario to get this rendition. Hod, left leg, submission. The eighth emanation, the eighth. There we go with the number eight. The eighth emanation, the force that abides. Hod is what guides us when we surrender ourselves to the flow of fate and let destiny guide our motion. Through her light, we see the boundlessness of glory. Waving our hands through the wind, we feel the air pull us upward. It's only by resigning ourselves to the forces around us that we truly experience the nature of those forces. The golden orb shines a radiant light upon our shoulders. Supporting the pillar of severity, Hod does not press back against the weight of the tree. Instead, she simply lets it pass through her, flowing like water down into the lowest portion of the diagram. Through the two opposing characteristics of Hod and Netza, relinquishing and resisting, we gain the power to move. Together, they form the power to carry ourselves through the world with grace and intention, found in prayer, nature, and mysteries. And it's interesting that Hod is found in mysteries because yesterday, what lied before the page of earth, it was either the page of earth or the page of fire. It was the page of fire first, I think, was the Archangel of Mysteries. What came out with that same page was the title card, which for me is all about it's the live life and find out. So it's perfect that it talked about sort of like surrendering to the flow of life and stuff like that. Also, Netza's rain sustain life, right? Oh, great muse of rain, oh sustainer of life, we patiently await your blessing. Let me find her over here though, because I forgot I said I'd read it. There's Fanuel, Angel of Truth. I missed her. Matariel, Angel of Rain. Here are the two Matariels. Oof. Well, in this deck, Matariel is standing. In the year 2, Matariel is sitting. Matariel's like, Matariel's touch is felt, seen, and heard. Its presence is heavy, filling the air, saturating the ground. Matariel is heralded by thunder clapping through the sky, signaling change and shift. There is a great migration coming, and it arcs like lightning. Oh, I didn't even catch that. Oof, 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 oof. Barakiel, Angel of Lightning. It arcs like lightning. Yesterday, the Destroyer came out under pile 3, which talked about a beach in the Indian Ocean, question mark, where all the crabs go. And the Destroyer looked like a thunder or a lightning deity, very Eastern. But usually it has like, I don't know if it's more Japanese particularly, but it feels like usually it's associated. Oh, because thunder. Duh. I was like, why are all of the lightning gods, deities, whatever? Anytime I see lightning personified or an aspect that is lightning, it comes with the drum, but that could be the thunder. You know what I mean? Thunder and lightning. But that came out in the Destroyer yesterday. That was 3-1, I believe. But anyway, thunderclapping through the sky, signaling change and shift. Also, thunder beings have been a thing, which is also the drum. The potentiality from one body is moving to another, a precarious transference, a swift communion, like the arrow taking its target. There's the arrow again. Awareness is paramount for the journey. Don't try to create an outcome for your future. Be in the moment. Let the rain fall where it may, which is getting back into the energy of submission, surrendering to the flow of life, again with Matariel, whose rains nourish life. So there's this hot Matariel thing going on right now. I mean, it's rain and flow. So it's not surprising, but signs are a fountain, a cup, and an arrow. There's the arrow again. There's the cup that mentioned the whale, which is the Ace of Cups. Ooh, well, now the whale is on the floor. It's fine. Darn it. Come on. I think I might definitely pull the Spirit Keeper's Tarot now. 1 second. As I try to locate. Oh, gosh. Oof. Oh, come on. That was the sound of my mouse hitting the floor. Oh, speaking of mouse, oh my gosh, my mouse just hit the floor and the mice card is here. I told y'all, for some reason, synchronicities, it's a very self-referential day today. For whatever reason. The whale that is the Ace of Cups cup. Also the fountain. And one of these, sign is a fountain. Oh, lonely fountain, bless us mortals that dwell beneath you. Matariel referring to Matariel. There you go. Is this ever going to end? Not to say it like that. Sagittarius finds the Ace of Cups. Wait, what? What? Thunder thighs, clap back. Temperance and the Tower lie between Hod and Netza. Very much so, yes. I'm hungry. Where does Sagittarius come from? Eve? I'm going to go for the Revelation edition. Because the edition is the one that has the Ace of Cups. With, I guess, the Vitruvian edition has the Ace of Cups too, but I don't think the Vitruvian edition has the Pearl. We got to wait till we get the Revelation to get the Pearl. Oh, look, she's literally right here at the top of the deck. See, that's the cup. That is the fountain. That's the pearl. That is the egg that hatches the dove. Well, there's the fountain behind it too. So, what am I doing over here? Was I looking for a card in particular? Oh, snap. Look at this. The Bifrost. The Bifrost is the Rainbow Bridge. And both of these cards, actually, I just noticed it. Both of these cards feature the rainbow. This is weird. This is weird energy. And it came out around the maze. The maze is this place that's really, it feels like it's nearly impossible to navigate. I just talked about Minos and the labyrinth that held the Minotaur yesterday, and Ariadne that gave Theseus the sword and the yarn. The sword to slay the Minotaur, the yarn to find his way out of the labyrinth. But it feels like with this Bifrost Bridge energy, we can navigate that space without having to go through the maze. We can circumvent the maze. Because it's like the wings of the bridge extend beyond the maze. It's almost like a platforming video game, or it's a video game where it has a platforming piece where you're jumping from block to block, and if you fall down, you end up in the maze. If you fall off the bridge, oof. Yeah, I just saw the rainbow in the writer. Boop, boop. Oh, the arrow! Duh. I told you my brain is gone. Sagittarius finds the Ace of Cups. Yes. Oh, that was the card. Is that at the bottom of the deck? No. Things that must remain in the dark. No, this isn't Things that must remain in the dark. Where is it? It's the arrow. Duh. Hello? An arrow that pierces the clouds and breaks the heavens. An arrow that pierces the heavens and breaks the clouds. I said that backwards. An arrow that pierces the clouds and breaks the heavens. But usually, I guess there can be an energy where that causes rain to flow. It's like if a cloud gets heavy but it can't release that water, then the arrow that pierces and breaks that cloud would release all of the water held within that arrow. And that's when we get back to the whole Azrael thing. The reason why the veil went up, according to this deck. And, maybe less arrows and more asking would have, I don't know. Anyway, that's outside of the scope of this. So, teamwork makes the dream work. Hey. Oh, it's so a card flipped over in the deck, and then I gave it another shuffle, and I was going to go looking for the card that flipped over, but the card that flipped over in the deck is literally at the top of the deck, so I don't even have to look for it. And it's the Wheel of Life. Talking about life, the rain that nurtures life, submitting to the flow of life, the Wheel of Life. And the Sphinx, that was number 1 yesterday. The man was the 9 of Pentacles clarified by the Hierophant and the star. The lion was temperance. Speaking of temperance, and the tower being submission. Jupiter! Look at this other sync! Look at this other sync! And I was talking about Jupiter's moons yesterday. So one of my coworkers works at a place called Jupiter. And another one was talking about how they went to the bar to get drinks yesterday because she was working. And I was like, oh, Jupiter. Jupiter was on my brain because that's the name of the place. And then Jupiter comes out in the Wheel of Life. The elements are here, I think. Yeah, the elements are here. The phases of the moon are here. The zodiac is here. But there's one element missing. The element of water isn't here. We have fire, earth, and air. The sulfur, the mercury, and the salt. And the heart of that. Focus, please. Please focus. Focus, please. Will you focus on this? And now I'll move it there. Focus on that. No. Oh, wait. There you go. There you go. It's sulfur, mercury, and salt. Okay. The only element not there is the element of water. Maybe it's in a pool of water. I don't know. It's interesting. Oh, the only element that isn't there is the element of water. And we're talking about the material that refuses to releases the rain. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if refuse is the word, but in the material year 2, people were asking for rain. Right. It's been a whole hour. I was like, ooh, look at this. Look at this short video I could do. Oof. Also, the name of the Earth Queen from Jupiter Ascending. I think I was going to watch that movie. That movie was on my list of things to watch, and I forgot about it. So thank you for reminding me. You're giving me 2 movies today. The bottom of the deck is the Herald of the Winds. The Herald of the Winds, I'm going to see what her message is. It's the energy of the Page of Swords, but the Herald of Matariel is the thunder. Oh, the erudite. I told. Did I or did I not say that Virgo is the one that's hiding stuff? This is the Hermit card in this deck, and it's Virgo. You see that, Virgo? What is that? Luke's ex tenebris, light from darkness, but it's like light out of darkness. And I actually have that card, a blip of light at the heart of a black hole, back in the Diceology. But what is the? Oh, that was quick. The bottom of the deck is now the Herald of Waters. See, there's the cut. That's the Ace of Cups, but a fish is coming out of it. Is the fish? Maybe the fish is dropping through this rift in space time, and the Herald is like, "I have been preparing your throne for you, fish." So we're gonna see what her message is. It's the Corruptor and the Archangel of Glory. Glory. You've been watching Debauchery, Boardwalk Empire. I don't even know what Boardwalk Empire is. I feel like I've heard of it. Glory came out. What was that? I read it. I don't think I read it today, though. And I went and read it yesterday, because what books did I read yesterday? Did Glory come out today? I was reading something and it mentioned Glory. It wasn't one of the facts. I didn't read. Yeah, I didn't read any books. Well, I don't know. I don't remember. But the corruptor in the Revelations edition has the axe of Shiva, the axe that removes corruption. There's an emanation of glory in year one. I don't have year one. I was going to order it the day you sent me the thing about the Angelarium Tarot, because it said that year one was back in print, and I put it in my cart on my phone, and I was like, I'll do it on my computer because my computer should still have all the information. But then I forgot. So, hey, Steph, how you doing? Overcoming, removing the corruption, and then the Archangel of Glory. Love that. So that's what's happening with the Herald of the Winds. And now, since the Herald of Waters is at the bottom of the deck, I mean, I got to find out what's the Herald of Waters. Like, what do you want to say? Hello? What message do you bring, Herald? You just got back from your granddaughter's first T-ball practice. Oh, snap. Yeah, me too. I feel like I read it, though. I used the Lion Strider Mini Tarot, the Mystical Shaman, the Threads of Fate Oracle cards, and another tarot deck. Because it was 2 tarot, 2 Oracle. It was the Lion Strider, and was it an SKT yesterday? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Herald of the Water. Oof, well. Y'all remember, was it Hyde? Was it not Hyde? Where did my book go? What did my book go? Oh, that's not the book I was looking for. You are not the book I was looking for. This isn't what I was looking for. Here is the book I was looking for. The Wild Unknown. No, I didn't end up using the Wild Unknown, though. Hyde was found in, I think I know what this card is. A card flipped over. Hyde, found in Prayer, Nature, and Mysteries. I think the Archangel of Mysteries is the one that flipped over. Yeah. The Archangel of Mysteries flipped over, which takes us back to Hyde and submitting to the flow of life. Archangel of Mysteries came out with the Scarlet Shield. And the Scarlet Shield is the Queen of Swords energy. Sanctum of the Valiant. We have the Sanctum, the defender that lies in the Sanctum of the Valiant with the Archangel of Glory on the other side. Even though the Archangel of Glory is the angel of art and grace. Grace was what Hyde helps us move through the world with. Well, it's part Hyde and Netza help us move through the world with grace. I got too many decks going on. Right? Let me pull the book open again. I thought it was the Queen of Wands for a second. King of Wands, Queen of Swords, Hyde was Through the two opposing characteristics of Had and Netza, relinquishing and resisting, we gain the power to move. Together they form the power to carry ourselves through the world with grace and intention. Archangel of glory, angel of art and grace. Where did glory come out? Emanation of glory is Had in your mixed angelarium decks. Oh, snap. Well, there you go. The Archangel of Mysteries. Oh, look, there's the corn. I was like, every time I get the corn card, I never know what it is. The energy that came out, it was sorcerers are created, not born. Because the sorcerer was at the bottom of the deck. Corn was the card that it was at the top of the deck when the mystical shaman oracle cards finally calmed down yesterday. And the final messages. And I mentioned the Archangel of Glory that was with the Page of Wands, I believe. The pages I saw yesterday were the pages of Wands and Earth. The pages that I see today are the pages of air and water. So the Wheel of Life, it's coming out with the first message, which was about this is the same as that caring for one's mental space, the corruption, removing the corruption. It feels similar to that energy. I think that also came out. Well, anyway, that's the first part. The first part is removing the corruption. And then as we do that, the mysteries are revealed. And it's found within the Sanctum of the Valiant. So there is a proving that happens. That's almost thankness. And maybe that's, again, the nesting. When that happens, then Mataria releases the water. And as the well fills, is the Ace of Cups already back in the deck? As the well fills, the pearl rises to the surface and is then transformed into the dove, or the dove hatches from the pearl, or maybe it hatches into something else. It feels like the pearl is an egg, though. Brain. Where did my brain just go? Brain. Oh, I still don't remember where my brain went, but remember how we have the missing water? Focus. I'm trying to see if I get enough light on it. The missing water, the Herald of the Waters came out with the Archangel of Mysteries. The mystery of the missing water. It's held within the Sanctum of the Valiant. Sanctum of the Valiant almost reads as Valhalla, but it's different because I don't necessarily think this energy is like, oh, we're coming back to fight Ragnarok, to fight in Ragnarok, but it's also the Valkyries. But I was going somewhere and then I lost it. Yes. Excuse me. Barakiel, Angel of Lightning, is here. Angel of Gemini! The two sides coming together. Duh. There they are. The bridge. The bridge. You see that? The bridge between people is one of the most fundamental aspects. The bridge between people is one of the most fundamental aspects of the human experience. The arts, Angel of Art and Grace, the arts, philosophy, and history all embody the way we reach out to each other through time and space. This connection cuts both ways, leaving those most deeply attuned to it extremely sensitive to the world around them. Ambriel does not exist in a single place, but in the hearts and minds of those that truly understand its nature. And then Barakiel. The rituals Barakiel performed were an object of fascination for both men and angels alike. Despite the widespread appreciation for the fruits of this work to tame the lightning, few volunteered to assist him. Barakiel was removed. Barakiel was renowned both for the power he Barakiel was removed for the power he commanded. Barakiel was renowned both for the power he commanded and also his lack of respect for it. His fall was the first proof beyond any doubt that Watchers were not complete in their wisdom or their immortality. Sorry. I told you, Barakiel, Azrael, and Sutariel. And then it goes into Armoros. And then that's when we get into the Chazakiel and the Gate of Sahakiel and stuff like that. Anyway, angel name. It was 2020. March 2020. The first time I went down to my buddies, but oh, snap. Different empires, I think. One of these feels like it would read more Aztec, and the other one feels like it would read more Inca. It might be from the same space, but we have this on the shield, that, and then the bird eating the snake. That is, it's not Horus, is it? And Apep. I know Apep is the snake, and it symbolizes order triumphing over chaos, basically. The bird eating the snake, order triumphing over chaos, with the corruptor, the axe of Shiva that removes corruption. Okay, I think I'm done now. The curse. I already put those cards away. The curse and the owl. Barakiel. Amoros. Oh, Barackio. It's also interesting because the Sphinx on top of the Wheel of Life is holding the sword. The Sphinx on the bottom is holding the scales. Together, that's justice. But it's interesting that the one holding the sword is up top because of the Queen of Swords. So as the wheel turns, that space is being guarded. It approaches the Sanctum of the Valiant. Once we're permitted entry into the Sanctum of the Valiant, that's where we discover the things that the Archangel of Mysteries holds within the water. And it's like we don't give blades to children. You know, the blade comes out for the Luminous Warrior, which is, again, for me, it's been reading as Archangel Commander energy. But anyway, finally, I'm done. Thank y'all. Yeah, are you still enjoying time with family stuff? The Emperor flipped over. Reem with I think it was the same video with the whale. The Ark of the Covenant is on the Emperor card. The Emperor flipped over. The Ark of the Covenant is right there. Look at that bird. The Emperor flipped over. The Ace of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. This is where the dove is born. This is where the falcon flies. Emperor energy. Ark of the Covenant, that which was promised, but sealed away. It's almost like because of the curse, because of Barachiel, because we don't give blades to children. Right? What's that video? Was that a Vine? Of the little kid running? And it's like, what's that in your hand? And the kid's like, a knife. And the mom goes, no. It's the little kid like running with the knife. Anyway, and the Emperor is that space. That's the anchor where we take accountability. But it's more than just taking accountability. There are a lot of things that the Emperor does. No. Oh, they're right here. We're in Final Messages territory. Appreciate you. Oh, Twitty. That reminds me. What's that game? Mad Gab? I think it's Mad Gab, where it has like broken up phrases like that, and you got to try to figure out what it says. Wildfires, what? All right, see you, Steph. Oh, welcome back, Steph. I'm glad. I didn't even know there were wildfires, but I'm glad you're safe. So the card that came out is Gavura. Speaking of the left leg being the bottom of the pillar of severity, we have the heart of the pillar of severity, Gavura, judgment herself. The bottom of the deck is Azrael, angel of death. And I'll just read these. Or not. If I can keep the book in my hand. Gavura. Gavura, left hand judgment. The fifth emanation, the hand that separates, the rule of law that brings order to the world. Talking about when order overcomes chaos, the bird that eats the snake. Gavura assesses what is just, helping us overcome our adversaries both without and within. Hers is the power to cleave apart a unified whole and leave its component pieces. Did I already put the deck away? And I kept looking at the mirror and the corruptor. There's the axe of Shiva, and then there's the mirror that has the reflection of the axe of Shiva, removing corruption both within with the reflection in the mirror and without with the axe that's in the realm of the cups. And cleaving, you cleave things with an axe, right? Anyway. Helps us overcome our adversaries both within and without. Hers is the power to cleave apart a unified whole and leave its component pieces. It is a trait that commands as much fear as respect because with it comes an inherent violence. She does this without enmity. It is an act that must be committed to create balance. The red orb exists as a boundary closed to the unworthy. And that takes me back again to fact 3 yesterday. Because the beach is that terminal, it's the boundary between the land and the water. And in fact, 3 was a red beach because of all the little crabs. Closed to the unworthy. Gavura's position at the center of its pillar defines that pillar's trait of severity. Her push against chesed on the opposite side of the tree is met with equal and opposite resistance. Without both of them in equal measure, we have no means of maintaining healthy relationships. We must have judgment to discern what is healthy for us so that we can bring it into our lives and embrace it. Found in law, bravery, and punishment. And the angel of punishment, Kushiel, was at the bottom of the deck. Also, speaking of law, that was the both component. It has the power to cleave a unified whole into its components. With at the top of the wheel of life, the sword of justice, the bottom of the wheel of life, the scales. Also, with it being the angel of judgment, or it being associated with judgment. Sorry. Interesting. And that's Jupiter energy. That's what it felt like when Jupiter conjuncted Pluto and Saturn conjuncted Pluto and everything was happening in Capricorn. That we'd be getting a new Jupiterian energy. It's a Jupiter that doesn't just give for the sake of giving. It's like they had to sit down with Jupiter and be like, okay, Jupiter, when we just, it's like if you reward if you reward a child for bad behavior, then they learn to act out to get what they want. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that we're bad children, but um, maybe there's an energy of incentivizing. I don't want to say it like that. So next, I'm going to put away the year 1 and only had Matario. So that's easy. Shiva can visit Atlantic City. Oh, it's not. Excuse me. Okay. Duma, Angel of Dreams. Duma said, "You really didn't think you were going to use 2 Angelarium decks and only see me once, right?" No. Duma, Angel of Dreams. I looked into the sky and saw a truth written in quiet motion. The turning wheel rises, and as it falls, it shows us what we've seen. A vision from beyond, no different than a vision from within. It's interesting though, because Reem said, I think it was in the live with Rob, something about something written in the sky. Maybe that was also the collective reading. Something written in the sky. I'm pretty sure that was Reem that mentioned something written in the sky. I looked into the sky and saw a truth written in quiet motion. The turning wheel rises, speaking of the wheel of life. It shows us what we've seen, a vision from beyond, no different than a vision from within. The card at the bottom of the deck is Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen. Tamiel moved through his life with such ease. Speaking of Had, submission. I was like, not suppression. Speaking of Had submission and the grace, moving through the world with grace and whatever the other thing was, glory. No. Tamiel moved through his life with such ease that it took a long time before anyone realized he was blind. To know that one of them was deficient in some aspect was unsettling in a way that was hard to put into words. This is, I think, the only other angel that mentions the fear of the Watchers. The first is Barakiel, and how it was because of Barakiel that they realized that the Watchers were neither immortal nor complete in their wisdom. And it's because of Tamiel that the Watchers realize that they could be flawed in some way. They think they can be flawed in some way, but Tamiel is Tamiel, which again goes back to the energy of where feminine and masculine meet, the recognition that how the rainbow recognizes the sorcerer. And maybe that's why the sorcerer doesn't get a full face of rainbow. It's because of the things that we minimize within ourselves, that we suppress and try to hide, and because of the things that we overly accentuate and try to, really shine in instead of it being a whole self. Anyway, Tamiel is whole as is. The attendance at Tamiel's rituals diminished as people's unease with him increased. It was clear that his insight was still valuable, but it was difficult to watch him wield his ceremonial dagger with the knowledge that he didn't know where it was going. And dreams are our way sometimes of being able to see that which is unseen. You know what I mean? Hold up, wait. This is at the top. I'm confused. I just confused myself. I'm pretty sure Tamiel was at the bottom. Hello? This goes here. This goes here. There we go. Barbiel Angel of Scorpio is the other one. There are times when words fall and action must be taken. When trials beset our lives and no other course of action is available, we have to fight. The nature of this sign is to be an ally, loving in the easy times and harsh when the world demands it. Barbiel is our sword against the darkness. It is our power to strike back when necessary. So there's that. I just read both of them. I'm all kinds of confused now. Card backs. I don't know. I don't know how I do this. Anyway. Next, I'm going to put away the Lenormand. And then I'll put away the Disology. I'm hungry. I know I've already said it, but goodness. Ooh, I was at work today. I think somebody like low-key called me out. There's this girl I work with. She is wild. She's a Sagittarius. And I'm glad I worked through my Sagittarius issue. I feel like I didn't really have a Sagittarius issue. But I feel like I met certain Sagittariuses earlier in life. And then the summer of 2019, that was the summer that I started putting. So early 2019 was me in my room, starving, not knowing how I was going to pay rent, but knowing that it wasn't time for me to work because of everything that I was finally doing. And thankfully, I had many, many, many lessons. So thankfully, while I was learning my lesson, I was covered. But then summer 2019 was this transitional in-between phase where I still had alone time, but I was also, because I was working, like with people. So I was integrating what I was learning into a living life model of that instead of the isolated model of that. And that summer, I met a bunch of people who, it's like as I integrated more, it brought healthier. Speaking of healthy relationships, I guess it brought healthier energies. And that's when I started meeting more healthy Sagittarius energies. I don't know. So I was thinking about that earlier today. Sagittarius for me now, and the reason why Sagittarius for me back then was whatever, it's because Sagittarius, it's one of those energies I feel like it pulls a lot out of me. And I was in a space of isolation before. So I didn't want to be whatever. But anyway, she's a Sagittarius and she's wild. She is wild. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like when my boss was still there, we would we would be by the door to my boss's office and her door would be open and she would make a comment. And I'm just like, girl, she's right there. I love it though. Oh, it's the man. Eve, you will be delighted to know that this is the man that's not the snake. The other man came out with the snake. This is the gentleman. He's got a shirt on, so, we can't ogle at his physique. This actually makes me think of the empty chair or the empty throne in the Teely fortune cards. But it's not empty anymore. And the empty throne is like, I'm pretty sure it's someone is about to leave or someone is exiting your life. But it's not empty anymore. The bottom of the deck is the anchor. The man is looking at the anchor. And below that is the storks. Speaking of birth and babies. I don't know nothing about birth and no babies. The man that is this is emperor energy. The man that is the anchor. And again, with the empty throne being the energy of someone is about to leave your life, this is an energy that's not going anywhere. And again, this man is not the snake. This is so like reborn divine masculine energy that is like here, that is invested, that's not going anywhere. And this is that nesting in preparation, the conception of innocence. Everything that was about birthing the baby and preparing the environment for the baby is found here in the story card. It's because this throne, this seat, it's not going to be vacant anymore. So it's like it's safe to really begin building. Love that. $35 is an 8. 17 is an 8. We got 2 8s. And then the labyrinth is behind the storks. And I love that there are like all these people in there. There's a man in there. There's a woman in there. There's a woman sitting under the gazebo in there by the birds. I don't want to say that's divine feminine energy that's waiting for the man to figure it out. Divine feminine energy waiting at the heart of the labyrinth to wait for the masculine to figure it out so that they can, start to build that stable foundation together. The stick, stable foundation, the nest. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. But that was Jimmy Neutron. I think that's when Jimmy invented that gum that they could eat. Like they would eat the gum and just know the whole story so that they didn't have to read the book. They just have to chew the gum and they'd know it. I don't know what book that is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Stork Twitty. But I didn't check the number to make sure. Here it is, Disology. There's nothing in here. That's fine. So, final card from the final deck. I'm going to do Disology last. I know I've said it before, but I want to make a new one. I want to make another one. I would like fix the typos in this one, but that's like, well, if I'm going to go through the trouble, which is not extremely, it's not that big of a hassle of reprinting, I might as well just like redo it. Like pull different messages. You know what I mean? Okay. I need to reach out to her. The 8 of Spades. I think that's the only card that flipped over. Bottom of the deck is the 9 of Clubs. So the 8 of Spades is rearrangement and coagulation, seeing the truth of the self. Distorted creations abound. Okay, work. I'm just the Butterfingers today, apparently. Just dropping all these cards. Drop them like it's hot. Drop them like they're hot. Drop them like they're hot. Drop them like they're hot. So, it's in reverse. Seeing the truth of the self. especially. And it's the eight of spades, eight of swords. Um and it carries an energy, especially because of some of the other cards that came out earlier, the Corruptor and the Archangel of Glory. Um there's something about a capability that we possess within ourselves, and how that's the thing. But that's the message of the Eight of Swords, right? It's like you're not really trapped. It's all a matter of perception. Well, I guess it depends on the illustration of the deck in particular. But in general, traditionally, it's in the mind. And that's also the rearrangement and coagulation with the distorted face or the concealed face, the lack of an ability to be recognizable. Um, it's putting things back in order. And then at the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Clubs stripped bare, a game of charades and a day with no mirrors. Both of these are number 26. Both of these are number 26. I rolled a D100. So there were 100 possibilities for this 52 card deck. Well, I guess that's like 50%, right? I want to see what 26 is. I know it's in the suit of water, which is essences, the missing water. And it's interesting that I'm not using the Vitruvian edition. This is the Five of Water, the Five of Essences. And that makes me think of Rob's video on Gabe. It was something in Gabe, because it makes me think of Hod submitting to the flow of life. And so, with the traditional image of the Five of Cups, it's someone at the banks of the river. And it's like it's to step into the river and just flow. But usually, when we see the Five of Cups, it's to turn around, to take the two cups and to keep moving forward. The Five of Essences, it's also a space. It's a internal, I guess I would say internal conflict, because that's the easiest. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be conflict, but there's something missing. There's some piece of ourselves that we're not bringing to the table. There's some factor in the equation that's missing. And so anything done from that space will be incomplete or will be distorted. It won't be what it's supposed to be because of the thing that's missing. And it's before we find the harmony that is the six. And before we realize that there's more to that harmony at the seven, before we become apprentice at the eight, find mastery at the nine, and be at the 10 in that mastery. And there's something very like showing up halfway. Because of the things that we hide. Oh, look, the Ten of Hearts. The Ten of Hearts is behind the 9. Oh, snap, look at this 8, 9, 10. And they're all different suits. So either there's a Jack of Diamonds or a 7 of Diamonds to complete the pattern. A stargate that leads to fantastic places, correcting what has been misused and stabilizing timelines. That's the 10 of Essences. 10 of Essences being the one, again, that operates within that mastery in the world. It's like it's gained at the 9, but at the 9, we're not necessarily using it in interactions, because that's when it comes to the 10, we're stepping outside. The world is involved. It's more than just an internal thing. And then the degree of utilization of that mastery is the Page, Knight, King, Queen. And I guess it's interesting because I was talking about that in between phase where it's like I did all of the learning and healing and growing that I could do by myself in my room. And then there came the point where I had to like reintegrate with the world. But it was in reintegrating with the world that I was able to do those things that I couldn't do within myself as an individual. And, I live on a planet with 7+ billion other people. I personally believe, and maybe it's because of that's my belief that it's my journey, that I don't want to be an island. And because I don't want to be an island, because I feel the division of the all in the way I feel the division of the all. Um, it informs my beliefs in the way I interact with reality. Like, I don't believe that I'm some reflection of other people and other people are a reflection of me. Like, I think the world is big enough that there's more than just 7 billion variants and variations of the same person. I think the cosmos is big enough that there's more than just like, again, it's like when I think of how the all is divided, it's divided into many pieces and many parts rather than it being like subdivision after subdivision after subdivision after subdivision after subdivision. And as we trace and follow those subdivisions back, we all come into like, you know, but again, that goes back to the Hierophant that came out yesterday in number 4 about how, yes, we are all on the same journey, but the journey itself means different things for all of us. And you don't have to take on my beliefs and limitations and anything if that's not you. And that's the thing about the distorted creations, and that's the thing about like being stripped bare and the game of charades and the day with no mirrors and the rearrangement and stuff. It's because a lot of times we pick up on the things we pick up on, sometimes we pick up on more than we are intended to from those who teach us and from those who guide us. That's something that it feels true to the resonance of where I am at in my journey in my life and understanding and knowing. It feels true to me. It's not a truth that exists for everybody. And so if that's not true for you, don't take it. It's not going to take you where you need to go on your journey. So you're going to fail that recognition because now you're holding something from me. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be from me in particular. You can be holding anything from anybody. And again, it's like, if that's not, it feels like there are things that we can see as truth, but still at the same time recognize that it's not necessarily our truth as well. And just because something is true doesn't necessarily mean it has to be ours at the same time. And again, it feels like that's where that sort of partial recognition comes from. There are paths, there are branchways, there are things to be, become, master, gifts to unlock, or whatever, that you may not necessarily find following in someone else's footsteps or utilizing someone else's guidance, because their guidance is to get them to a certain point. And it's not to say that everything is specific and that there is nothing that can't be shared between paths. Take it as it resonates, okay? Take it as it resonates. All right. Exactly. It's discernment. Um, but anyway, that's it. This ended up being 2 hours longer than it was initially going to be. Um, but I like it. I feel satisfied. I also feel hungry for the third time. So I hope you all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And I hope things for you that I can't put into words. But if you pick up the vibe and the feeling, I hope that for you. You know what I mean? So thank you all for being here. This was fun, I guess. I love how the mystical shaman through the pun calendar and all of the synchronicity that is today kind of sort of got me to talk about the things that I didn't want to talk about yesterday. Kind of sort of in a way. Um yeah. Anyway. All right. Bye.